What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video a few hours later to talk about what just went down with my second favorite show in all of professional wrestling, and that is AEW. It is the debut show, like when they on the simulcast on both TNT and Max. Like, so in the foreseeable future, you will be seeing it still on TNT, but also going to be streaming simulcasted on Max and on reruns as well. But and then we got all the wrestlers that's gonna be sending messages to their respective opponents on the show. That's where we saw all of them. We saw mainly it was Rated FTR, the Run Tree, what's his name, Mark Briscoe, and Daniel Garcia. It's where then we got two funny lines, which they're definitely gonna get the golden trophy of the night. First one goes to Brian Keeper calling the Rated FTR a bunch of dumb, well, you know what's, because I can't say due to obvious reasons, but yeah, it's very called him that while Uncle Cash the Flash said, like, they're the ugly tree, like, when they were sending the message to them, like, and they're going to beat them as well. But it's where we got them live in Charlotte, North Carolina tonight, and with a very awesome crowd, and then we got plenty of good matches, like even the mid-card matches were very entertaining, and the opener almost got the golden trophy just by an inch. But since the main event was more of a like it's supposed to be, that got the golden trophy. But this match for the TNT Championship match, yep, yes sir, ma'am, I'm talking about Danny Garcia, the guy saying about to do this dance, against the former Ring of Honor champion and tag team champion Mark Briscoe. And yeah, these guys definitely know how. They put the W in professional wrestling, I should say. Put the W in wrestling, I should just say, alone. With them, like, start off with a grapple. This is where Mark Briscoe started off by overpowering Daniel Garcia right to the bottom right side until Aubrey Edwards told him to back up. Or no, it was a different referee. It was one of the male referees. But it's where both men start going for a grapple yet again. It's where we got Danny to go for a snapmare. This is where Mark Briscoe's like, oh yeah, that's what you got, son. And then this is where he's like, oh, I can see you have more. This is where Danny Garcia's like, I will do. And this is where then he's trying to tip to do that maneuver, but he ends up getting nearly head. This is where he gets headlocked. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that this is not the only championship match that's gonna be promoted tonight, but we're gonna get into that in just a moment. But this is where we got Mark Briscoe ends up throwing Daniel Garcia right to the right side. Mark Briscoe tried to go for a baseball sliding kick right to the face onto Daniel Garcia, but Daniel then move right out of the way, right on time, maybe even. This is where Mark Briscoe's like, let's do this, boy, out here. This is where Danny Garcia was like, okay, like I thought you want to do it in here. This is where he's like, no, I got a better idea. Like, I got something even better than just having an outside the ring, good old fashioned fight. How about like, he go in the ring, I'll show you some kind of a surprise, but this is where when he tried to show it to him, Mark Briscoe's like, I don't want to see no surprise. Like, I just want to just wrist lock you, try to twist your arm and turn it to the most human limb pretzel that I've ever seen in my I'll say 22-year career in this industry. And it is where then we got Mark Briscoe trying to go for another grapple with Danny, but Danny did counter, go for a surprise roll-up. But that didn't happen. This where, that didn't work. This is where he turned into like I tried to go for what's that called? Tie the legs together on the Mark Briscoe. This is where Danny Garcia is like, all right, everybody here in Charlotte, everybody wants to see it. This is where he went for a foot stomp onto Mark Briscoe. And then Mark Briscoe is like, you can hear him like mutter into his voice the word sugar honey iced tea, which y'all know what that means. But this is where we saw Mark Briscoe go for a headlock. This is where he slams him right to the ground. Danny Garcia tried to go for a triangle scissor. But it's where Mark Briscoe somehow escaped and did one of his own. But Daniel Garcia did counter out. This is where he tried to go for the J Driller. But this is where he gets intercepted by Daniel Garcia. This is where he gets pushed right to the right side. This is where Mark Briscoe like, you want to see You see what I can do with my kung fu moves. This is where then Danny Garcia's like, no need, because I already seen that like about 2,000 times. He's like, but do you want to see my dance that I've been practicing on? Like a new updated version for 2025. So this is where Mark Briscoe is like, no, not really. I'm not moving for dance. I'm going to move for fighting. This is where he tried to close on him out of the ring, but Daniel Garcia smartly move out of the way. Yeah, being like his version of Michael Jackson, like with him being the dance type. This is where then we got Daniel Garcia like, all right, bro, Mark, like you got some dance moves you gotta do, get in mind. This is where he tried to open the ring for him. This is where then Mark Briscoe's like, nah, I think I'll pass. And this is where then Mark Briscoe's like, I'm gonna take my breather. And then this is where he did so. This is where he managed to get back in the ring. This is where Mark Briscoe's like, all right, like let's dance some more, Mr. Daniels. Oh no, that's not your last name. Like that's your first name. That's what you probably must have said. Yeah. Oh, but anyways, this is where Daniel Garcia then try to tip to go for a grab, but he gets pushed off by Mark Briscoe. This is where Daniel Garcia try to go over again, but he ends up getting knife edge chop after Mark Briscoe ducks out of the way. He did repeat it more. This is where he tried to go for brainbuster. Is it? This is where we got Mark Briscoe was like, all right. Well, Mr. Garcia, this is where then he tried to pick him up. This is where he tried to go for clothesline. This is where Daniel Garcia then ducks, try to go for a spinning neck breaker. This is where he picks him right back up and try to go for another twist. One being his version of the Three Amigos, like how, like the likes of, I'm not sure if I should mention the guys over WWE, but like what Mercedes Moné does when she's doing a move, which is it's under her arsenal because it's been inspired by her idol himself, the late Eddie Guerrero, that sadly passed away for almost 20 years from this year. But this is where we got Daniel Garcia go for a clothesline onto Mark Briscoe. This is where we go right up in the bottom, right in the bottom right side. This is where we started going for some right hands after hitting these three neck breaker versions of the Amigos. This is where we got Mark Briscoe, then hits some chops, gets some punches, then pushes him out of the right side of the ring. Mark Briscoe goes for like a missile baseball drop kick right onto Daniel Garcia, bringing him down. It's where, he gets a cannonball to follow things up. Well, not just an ordinary one. He added like a blockbuster neck breaker on the neck of Danny. This is where then he started throwing him around right into Simba still steps, like into step after step. Then he tried to go for a suplex. This is where at first he was struggling until he managed to find a good grip on him to hit the maneuver. This is where he throws Danny Garcia, even though they were in the partial powerful force in all of professional wrestling. This is where he tried to go for the, what's that called? Try to go right back in the ring, try to hit him right in the midsection, try to go for a sunset flip. But once that didn't work, this is where we got Danny Garcia then intercepted and took advantage of going for the the Dragon Tamer. And the powerful force must have worked because this is where we saw Danny was back in the lead, but this is where he ends up getting picked off by when they Briscoe right hand right to the face, but Danny Garcia then fight right back. But once he got back in the ring, that's where we got Danny trying to go for a suplex, but Mark Briscoe intercepting, going for a suplex of his own. That's where they started going for a suplex off to see where if we're going to see a winner. This is where it ended up being Mark Briscoe when Mark Briscoe got more of a strength by flipping him over off the top of the springboard. Excuse me for a moment. But anyways, this is where we got what's his name? The referee, which I'm trying to remember his name at the moment, but it's not working. But this is where he just started counting the count. This is where Danny Garcia tried to get back in the ring, but Mark Briscoe smartly got him out, tried not to get him back in the ring. This is where he pulls him out. This is where he just continued that, but he ended up getting kicked once he got back up. That's it, right side. We got Mark Briscoe somehow got in the ring before at 9.5, I believe. At that count, this is where we got Mark Briscoe trying to flip Danny Garcia out of the ring, but this is where Danny was hanging on for dear life, like if it was a battle royal match. But this is where Mark Briscoe then hits his uppercut that he does with his kung fu. He did not. Well, Samoa, this is where he went right to the left side, but he ends up getting knee strike by Danny. That's where he boots Danny in the face, but this is where Danny fought right back and hit a back suplex by intervening himself back into the offensive side. But this is where Mark Briscoe came back, hit a running lariat out of nowhere. This is where we got. That's where we got Mark Briscoe. Then they got Danny right into the bottom right, actually. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline on him, but this is where he gets boot right to the face. This is where Danny Garcia tried to come in. Briscoe here's the clothesline him out of nowhere. This is where he hits the fisherman's buster. This is where he tried to go for a cover, but this is where he gets the 1 and the 2, but Danny just ends up kicking out at 2.6. But this is where we got But this is where we got what's his name? Mark Briscoe. I've been trying to go for a J Driller again. This is where then he was almost got a guarantee, but unfortunately he got double cursed. Well, almost did, partially. I'll say he was like in the halfway there, but this is where he turned into a power bomb, which that was probably the next best thing. But unfortunately, it wasn't his finisher, and that's what only got him a 2.8. But it's where then we got Mark Briscoe then got back up. This is where then and that's where we got Mark Briscoe. Try to go for his signature move, which is also SNA's finisher, and that he was about to make me proud of him hitting this maneuver. And that is my finisher, the most dominating move in all of pro wrestling, and that is the Assassin Valley Driver, which you call the Death Valley Driver. But it's where Danny Garcia got out of it because of some motivational words from his kayfabe father, Matt Menard, Mr. Daddy Magic himself. This is where he started going for some strikes onto Mark Briscoe. This is where they started going for a slugging war right back and forth. This is where fans started cheering for Briscoe. This is where we got Danny then ducks out of the close. This is where we got you need some help. This is where we got Daniel Garcia's not going for a chop. Here's where we got Mark Briscoe then fought right back. Like once he knew he gets Irish whip right from the right to the left. This is where he started some knife edge chop, hit some forearm strikes. This is where Mark Briscoe was like, all right, I just a percent away. This is where we're trying to blow him away with this chop. But this is where Danny Garcia ducks out of the way, chops him right back. This is where Daniel Garcia hits him right hand right to the face. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then start doing this dance. That's where he did follow that up with a pile driver. This is where we got we go for a pin, but he only got him a 2.6 count, if I'm not mistaken. This is where we got somehow Mark Briscoe tried to go for a J drill, but he ends up getting triple cursed because he couldn't put it away. He should have found that third time's the charm, third leaf clover. This is where we got Daniel Garcia going for what's that called? A dragon tamer. What's it called? Or a dragon slayer, actually, it's called. This is where he got locked in. It looked like he was about to win, but somehow he got right out of it. I'm like, where the hell what planet did Mark Briscoe just came from? Because that looked inhuman for him to escape out a hole that not even a 300-pounder would get out of. But anyway, this is where we got this is where we got what's his name? Daniel Garcia then trying to go for a suplex off the top rope, which was an avalanche. But this is where we got Mark Briscoe to turn into that wrestler from the other company to just kind of get suplex. Well, the Pillow had her streak broken by who was it? Was it Mariah May? I guess that was. This is where we got Mark Briscoe hits the Rocky Bro, but he only got him a 2.8. This is where the Grand Slam was the charm because he found it right beside him and Danny Garcia when the last time he pinned. This is where he tried to go for a pin, however. It still couldn't get him the 3 count because Danny got the right leg onto the top corner rope in the bottom. This is where the and Matt Menard was cheering on, and Mark was like, "Yeah, not even close, because Daniel just found a way out of no way, in the other way." That's where there was 3 minutes remaining with Daniel, or was it 2 minutes remaining actually? That's where Danny flips him over, hit the bridge across version of the surprise roll up for the 1, 2, 3, which the devastating move never gets old, and this. And this match was an exception to that. And the winner of this match and still your TNT champion. But yeah, our boy Danny Garcia. And it's where we got a round of applause from his kayfabe dad, Mr. Matt Menard, like because he totally deserved it. Even if it did end in this way. But this is where Mark Briscoe let him know that he was just a pinch away from winning. Open it, okay. But this is where we got him lifting up Daniel Garcia. They showed some sportsmanship by handshaking, saying like, yeah, this was a good match, which it really was. It was just a finger point, just a pinch away from being the match of the night, just by a pinch of it, which it was like probably like just 99.9% probably. But it's getting the second place spot of the silver trophy because this match was almost golden, but